First off, I'm gonna say you gotta believe in yourself. If you can't believe in yourself, it's hard to be able to have the motivation first off, and the drive and the passion to be able to follow your goal and your dream to complete your project. Because that is fundamental. You got to believe in yourself. And I feel like if you do believe in yourself and you run across somebody that's not a believer, your belief in what you have and what you're trying to establish, you can actually convince somebody to believe in you. Hello, my name is Drew Hebert. I'm the CEO and founder of Pressure Vision, the first black-owned social media app here in Louisiana.
How does it feel to be in tech in New Orleans as a black man?
Exciting, because as we was talking about earlier, it's a rare thing to meet somebody or to be able to at least talk to somebody that is in tech and at least in the same lane like me. For example, you do apps as well as I do, so that's exciting to at least be able to talk to somebody, because it's so rare. In our area, it's not like we're in, Silicon Valley, California somewhere, and, we have that type of access to be able to talk to different people and, learn different things about that, that industry. So it's exciting and it's new, and I'm proud to be able to do it.
Hey, so talk a little bit about your background before you got into tech specifically.
Been in and out of Louisiana, between Louisiana and Texas, pretty much my whole life. Went to school here in Louisiana, in a little town called Leesville, Louisiana, actually. And so been migrating back and forth. We have family in Texas as well as here, and pretty much migrated to here, and right now living in the Slidell area.
Oh, nice. So talk a little bit about your background before you got into tech specifically.
I come from a single mother family, and she raised two of us, two sons, and so seeing hard work through my mother, that's been instilled in my family through good work ethic and hard work. And tech industry has always been attractive to me, because I feel like you could take your ideas and be very creative with them and put them on a platform and just really make them come to life, through the tech industry. And so the way my mind turns, I always got ideas going on, and so it's exciting now to where you see all these apps and the development of them, and to where people are putting things on them through social media and using those platforms to excel and express themselves. That's a very exciting thing to be able to be involved in.
Nice. So let's talk about the concept of the app. Let's dig a little bit into that. So what is the app meant for? Who is it meant for? What does it do?
These 17 and older, and really it's a video sharing social media platform, to where if you feel like you are excelling, or what I call bringing that pressure in your everyday life, whether you're applying pressure or you feel like you have to relieve some pressure, because pressure is with us in everyday life, in every facet of our life. We already know that pressure busts pipes, but it also makes diamonds. So having that concept, I feel like I can use that platform for other people to give us better videos than what we already have on the market right now. Because we could sit here and look at videos, and you might see a cat slapping a dog on one scroll, and then you scroll and then see something else. Well, I want to take what the inspiration through the theme of pressure to be able to elevate people's videos, to inspire and motivate people on a different level than what we're seeing right now.
Nice, and that brings to question a lot of platforms that we use as black people, not really owned by black people. We see a lot of content getting pushed that may not be beneficial to us as a community. And that brings to question a lot of platforms that we use as black people, not really owned by black people. We see a lot of content getting pushed that may not be beneficial to us as a community. Let's talk a little bit about that. How do you feel, growing up, seeing the rise of social media and seeing how things are shifting as far as what is being programmed into our communities, and how do you feel like pressure can kind of counteract that narrative?
Pressure, people can use it at a different level, to where it's one thing to be motivated and you see something, but it's another thing to be able to keep that type of energy. And I feel like if you can constantly instill yourself with those type of images, or surround yourself in that type of environment, you can constantly push yourself. And in today's society, we have a lot of people that are just average, and they settle for just being average. And so, and they become stagnant, and it's not good to be stagnant. So as long as we can take that platform and use it for people that look like me, that we don't commonly see, then that gives somebody some inspiration to say, hey, somebody else is doing these kind of things and bringing these things to fruition in life, then I feel like I can do it also. So if that platform can inspire somebody that may be on the fence, that's not sure of how to take the next step, or don't even have the support, because I know what that's like as well, not having the right type of support, or thinking you may be getting support from a certain, member of your family or things like that, and you don't get it, it can be discouraging. And so that a lot of times get people off their path, and and they lose motivation. So if we can continuously use that platform to give those people a opportunity to present themselves like that, then I think it'll do a lot for people.
Nice. And we were talking off camera about the building and like constructing of apps, right? And you were speaking earlier about how you're a founder, a no-code founder. Let's talk a little bit. I don't want you to give away your secret sauce, but just talk a little bit about the process, some of the challenges you face getting the app to the App Store.
As a matter of fact, last night I was up all night because the people that my development team is on a different time schedule. So usually when I'm up, they're asleep, and vice versa. So I have to be up at those times when they're actually going in, developing and working on different aspects of the app. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the app itself consists of different pieces that comprise the whole platform. And so you might have to use a third-party service that may control your streaming, or that controls stuff that go to the cloud, or your servers and things like that. So you have different components that have to come together to make the platform successful and run smoothly. And so people just think, oh, all this is just on one particular phone or one particular screen, but it's not. It's different aspects and all kinds of different fundamentals put together to create that one smooth platform. And it is a challenge because a lot of times when you submit those things to those platforms, they review them and they go through a review process. And a lot of times, usually on the first time, it's not successful. But that doesn't mean your app isn't successful. It just means you might have a certain part of it, maybe a policy that needs to be changed, or a privacy policy, things like user guidelines and all kind of user-generated content has to be in there, because nowadays you have so many things that's involved with people creating their own content. So, to a certain degree, it has to be moderated, but I do believe in free speech and the ability to have that opportunity to do that, as long as it's within reason.
So as far as any early usage, have you brought it fully to market? Have you started marketing yet, or are you still kind of working out some tools?
Yes, and actually we just set it up for an update, which we have to go and do some other things and fix some things. But as far as the platform, it is running. It's running smoothly, and we're just updating some things that need, for example, the privacy policy, things like that need to be updated and in accordance with the people that have actually owned those platforms. And that's a different thing too, because that's all we have. We only have a couple of Play stores to cater to be able to introduce our content, and our product. And I think in the future that should change as well. It should be more opportunity for people like me and you to have those platforms so people can submit their apps to be established like that as well, and get out there. So I don't feel like it should be just two big giants that's the only two you have to cater to, and if they don't accept it, then who else we got to turn to? So I mean, eventually we're gonna need it, for ourselves,
And how does it feel being a tech founder who, in the demographic of people a little older, they don't even know how to use their iPhones, let alone build some platform, right? How do you take some of that experience from when the world was fully physical and put it into your tech strategies, or how you?
Well, I think it's a benefit, and the reason I say that because being a little bit in a little older demographic, I'm able to take that experience from when I was younger and seeing those things, because really tech, it is gradual and it's ever changing, but at the same time it comes from some basic ideas. It's fundamentals that was already established, and all we did was put them into the more modern tech to where it's more viewable to what you see now. For example, America's Funniest Home Videos. You can actually say that's the original TikTok. Of course, you know, and it's still going on today. So if you take that same concept, which was all they did, and put it on a platform and add some funny tricks to it, you know, you got it right there. So I'm able to use that type of experience because of my age, and you know, and take those things that I know from the past and put them into the present and just be more creative with what's already out there. Because I feel like people get used to a certain type of thing, a certain feature, and they'll gravitate to it. But if you change it up and make it a little bit more different from what they used to, it may take a little time, but they'll eventually gravitate to it.
Nah, for sure, for sure. That is real. It's all about the time and the onboarding and making sure they have a smooth transition onto the actual.
I agree.
That is facts. What's some advice that you would have for black founders in New Orleans, man?
First off, I'm gonna say you gotta believe in yourself. If you can't believe in yourself, it's hard to be able to have the motivation, first off, and the drive and the passion to be able to follow your goal and your dream to complete your project. Because you know that is fundamental. You got to believe in yourself. And I feel like if you do believe in yourself and you run across somebody that's not a believer, your belief in what you have and what you're trying to establish, you can actually convince somebody to believe in you. That's why even on my platform, I even changed the language in my platform to where we don't have followers like you're used to on the normal platform. We have believers, and they don't follow you, they believe in you. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, if I believe in you, it's a little bit more intimate. It's you know, I'm a little bit more invested in you. I care for you. I support you if I believe in you. Because I can sit here and tell you I follow you and still be hating on you and be at a distance as well.
What are some things that you have going forward that you feel like hurdles, like things that you kind of worried about?
Wouldn't be so much the tech itself, because you have so much access to information these days, and you can just really Google pretty much anything you want. And if you do enough research, you can find out enough about what you need to do. But the main hurdle I think I've went through with this whole process is just the support. You know, because like I mentioned earlier, you may think that you would want to receive certain type of support from a certain family member, and when you don't receive it and you don't get it like that, it can be disappointing. But at the same time, if you know how to take that and turn it around and use it for fuel, it could also be very motivational too. And that's what I found out I was able to do. Just take those things and turn them around and use them for motivation and continuously fuel them, because I wanted to experience the whole journey myself as far as the development process. I wanted the highs and the lows, the ups and downs. Could I afford it? What's going on this week? Talking to the developers, all the features, all the little niches that I put in, and all the customizations, all that came from me. So I wanted to make sure I was hands-on with it, but I went through all the emotional part of it as well. That way, when I came to this part of the process, I'm able now to be able to tell you what I went through, and hopefully somebody can see that and it'll inspire them as well. Because I know there's people out there that's interested in tech. They just don't know where to start. And that can be discouraging in itself, because they'll say, oh, you know, I want to build an app, and then you won't hear anything else from them. But if they see where somebody else has done it, and especially if they look like them, then I feel that that's a very powerful tool to be able to motivate somebody and say, hey, look, just come along, I'll show you, and then you could just follow what I did. The blueprint is really already out there for all of us.
Yeah, that's true, man, for sure. Give me a little drop, let me know where you can find the app, platforms on websites. Quick drop.
Okay, you can find the app Pressure Vision at all the stores. Under Pressure Vision, the app is named Pressure, but at the stores you can find it under Pressure Vision at all the stores.